when you need
We
somebody.
got a very special guest. Very fortunate to hear him. You probably know him in the Los Angeles area because he was like the voice of KLOS. And he still is. Are you still with KLOS?
Yeah, well, we're not back after COVID yet.
Not there.
I'll be back.
But let's give it up to the one and only 30-year in the game veteran, Mr. Frazer Smith.
Oh, thanks, guys. What a crowd.
Yeah.
That was a good crowd.
Okay.
Yeah, they left quickly, though. They were in a hurry.
Right. So tell us a little about how long you've been in this comedy journey of yours.
About 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah. But I'm going for 4. Hopefully I'll be able to get 4.
Get your first month in.
And then I don't know what you get. Do you get any kind of award? I don't know. No, probably about 30 years. 30 years, yeah.
30 years.
Yeah. Same jokes for 30 years. But none of them get any laughs. That's the part I got to work on.
Well,
I'm working on it though, guys. Come on.
30 years in the game, but being honest with you, what has changed from when you first started to what's happening now?
Well, here I am in Compton. That's what's changed. I've never been to Compton. Folks, come on, knock it off. I mean, Long Beach and Compton together, you're in trouble, and that's why I'm here.
Sound like Snoop Dogg right there.
As far as, as far as what's changed, it's a lot is the same, and the difference I see is that the internet has become super big, which is both good and bad. I mean, you guys, Dr. Dandruff has this big show cooking, and it's really rolling, and you can blow up with that. What I see is bad in the sense of a comedian, though, is that the industry people don't go out as much because they don't have to. They can watch YouTube. You remember back in the day, they would all go to the Comedy Store, and they'd watch, and they'd pick Roseanne or Tim Allen or David Letterman, Len. All those guys came out of the Comedy Store.
Wow, absolutely.
And Robin Williams, all those guys. Paul Rodriguez, all those guys. And back then, the industry guys had to go out to see somebody, so they would show up for live events. And I think it was a way for comedians to make it a little quicker back then. But you really don't have that now, but then there's other ways to blow up by getting a big show like Dr. D has.
So what other podcasts, or what you mentioned earlier, like this ARM trying to find talent in Europe, where are they looking at online?
Well, I guess they just look everywhere. They just comb the internet to see who's got numbers, right? Yeah, they're looking for numbers. I have none, by the way. I have no numbers. The reason?
You got it.
I'm old school. I don't really do it. Everyone laughs at me because I'm not on Instagram or any of that stuff. And honestly, I told one guy, I go, I've only got 3 followers, and he thought I was joking. And he looked and he goes, "You only have 3 followers." But one thing I have started to do. You know what I am doing though? Darren Carter. You know Darren Carter.
Oh, Darren Carter, the party
starter.
Yeah.
Darren is my buddy. He's a really good comedian, and Darren got me to start doing these little things with him where we tape these little they're like 7 seconds long. I just do a joke
clips.
and then I snap my fingers and that's it.
Yeah, I caught that.
So he put it up. I don't even know where he put it up, but it's getting a buzz. They're catching on.
Like a TikTok or something?
Yeah, it's kind of a TikTok thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
Instagram, TikTok, and they seem to be just the right length for TikTok. And I'm getting laughs with them, and people seem to dig it. So even though I'm not in that game, I'm starting to be able to use that.
Okay, so you're coming out at you're transitioning. Is what you're saying.
I am. I'm trying to
You're
learn.
adapting to this new wave of social media.
That's it.
platforms.
That's it,
Crazy.
Dr. D. I'm trying to learn.
You gotta put your phone book away and put some contacts in your phone.
Yeah.
That's where it's at.
You got to make the adjustment. I'm trying, guys.
Hey, the voice, man, you sound great. I can't lie, man.
Thank you, buddy. That's my old radio thing. I've done that for probably 45 years. That's how old I am.
So you've been working on that voice for how long?
Well, no, that's just my voice. I didn't have to work on it.
that's a gift right there. You
That's
got
what
a
I
gift.
said. Dr. Denver Show. That's
Well,
perfect.
I was lucky for that. Everybody has something gift, from God, and I was lucky to get that. And I had a lot of years big on the radio. It's kind of like the Howard Stern of LA.
That's right.
For many years. And I had a morning show on KLOS.
KLOS.
The rock station, the big rock.
Yeah.
95.5. I grew up with that.
Yeah, right. And they're still there. I'm hoping to get back on after COVID.
Hope so, too.
We got knocked off. We had a show on Sunday night that was going really well, and then that got knocked off because of COVID. And they haven't brought us back because they can run automated.
Oh, okay.
And I think it got good to
like
me.
reruns.
Well, or just run the station with an automated thing, so they don't have to have a DJ.
Wow.
So I'm not back on, but I'm out doing stand-up and some acting, and I'm writing some scripts, and I have I'm keeping in the game, guys.
I mean, when you worked at KLOS, it's like Rodney Bingenheimer's for KROQ.
Well, yeah, and I worked with Rodney too for a lot of years.
Art in the bowl.
And Art Bowl. I know all those guys. I worked with Art for many years. I worked with Rodney for a lot of years, and with Rodney, I was at K-Rock.
Yes.
And he got a lot of the big bands started back in the day.
I remember.
He had a real ear for talent,
And
and
he had
he
that,
got a lot of bands started.
That English disco, he had that club there.
He had his club in Hollywood, yeah, and all the big bands would hang out there.
Did you go there?
I was a little bit earlier than when I was in LA. I got to LA right after that club was gone. But I heard all the stories, and he used to he'd go in there, and Led Zeppelin would be in there, and the Who, and all the big bands, David Bowie, they were all
Classic.
hanging out, yeah.
You ever meet a Huggy Boy?
I knew Hug real well.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
See, I was at KLSX radio, and right next door was the AM station, and Huggy was on that. They were in we were the same building.
Oh, that's awesome.
And Hug was on the same time I was, and he would always come over and ask me, he always had the racing form, and he'd ask me, Fraze, who do you like in the 5th race here?
Horse races?
Yeah, that was Hug's thing. He always playing the horses.
Yeah.
And just a classic DJ from the old days, a great guy. We were buddies. He was a classic.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, what would you say for these new up-and-coming comedians that are coming out, starting their journey? I mean, what advice would you give them from all being such a seasoned vet?
Well, I would say go on the Dr. Dandruff show if you can.
Yeah,
that's how you blow up these days.
Blow it up.
It used to be Johnny Carson, used to be David Letterman, but now it's Dr. D.
Dr.
And if
D
you
is
go
in
on
the
his
house.
show, you can blow up. The other thing is to do the Compton Comedy Festival. That's another way that you can blow
Oh, I
up.
like that.
A taste. But I think really what it is just, it's always, one thing is always kind of the same. You have to always kind of grind it out.
Right.
That's exactly what we've been saying already.
That's what we were doing.
really can't.
Put the work in.
Yeah, there really is no shortcut. I wish there was.
Time.
I would have taken it long ago.
Right.
Yeah,
So-
you just got to kind of, and I think you have to kind of be used to the ups and downs. You're going to have some downs, but don't let that phase you. Then you can still get back up. So it's really about the long haul, as opposed to it's a marathon and not a sprint. At least I found it to be that way.
Copy that. So, what do you got coming up now? Any new shows? Where can people find you? Get a hold of you if they want
I have a hockey podcast. I don't know if you guys like hockey, but I have a hockey podcast with Joe Bartnick. I don't know if you know Joe. He's a very talented comedian. He's the opening act for Bill Burr.
Oh wow.
And Joe and I have a thing called Puck Off, and it's on the
That's awesome.
All Things Comedy Channel, and I'm there. And I've also got my own podcast on Laugh Factory, on LaughFactory.com.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm on Laugh Factory.
All Things Comedy. That's where George opens his
Yeah,
podcast.
George has his show there,
Yeah,
exactly, his
his
podcast,
podcast,
yeah. George is an old buddy of mine, and we go way, way back.
Sure.
And very happy for him. He just got a new sitcom with his daughter.
Oh yeah.
Coming up on
Yeah.
NBC.
I did see that.
Yeah, which is going to be cool for him.
That's great.
And yeah, I'm also I'm going to be at the Dolby Theater next Saturday with Dr. Ken. I've been working with Dr. Ken.
Oh, he's funny.
Yeah, Kenny's
That's
a
funny.
really funny guy.
Yeah.
And him and Joel McHale, they were both on that Community show together.
Okay.
And so we're there. Robin Thicke is going to be there too, the singer. He's
Right.
going to sing something. And Kevin Shea. I don't know if you know Kevin. Yeah, so we're there next Saturday night at the Dolby where they have the
That's
Academy
great.
Awards. I better go get a tux. But I'm going, or maybe you got a cool tux. But anyway,
I'll let you
Plans
borrow
the
it.
world. But yeah,
I'll have to take
those
it
are
out.
my thing. And then tonight I'm at the Improv in
Awesome.
Hollywood. I play there a lot.
Real famous improv.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, man. We got a legend in the building. A
That's
living
true.
legend.
Let's give it
I love
up to the legend.
I'm
Oh,
starstruck.
All right.
thanks,
We want to
guys.
thank you for coming out for the Taste of Compton. Look forward to catch your set in the next 10 minutes. So let's get this rocking.
All right,
Thank you so much
guys.
for your
Thanks so
time.
much, Dr. D.
Thank you,
Appreciate
man.
it
I
very much,
appreciate
bro.
you. Thank you
You're
so
awesome,
much,
man.
man.
Nice
You're
to meet
awesome.
you.
Thank you
Best
so
with
much.
your podcast.
Thank you. Appreciate
Yeah.
it. We out of here.
I got one more comment.